women, but the most important goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who's represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gianni's journey, see some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gianni's journey, and let's build together.
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
Bargani, Bombskin & Co. is the true definition of self-care, self-love, and repeat. We are what we create in this life. Bombskin & Co. chooses to create something innovative and unforgettable. Check out our website for more information.
Spirit Over Flesh LLC is a wellness-based business where we heal through words. I'm Tiandra. I'm the founding servant leader. It is a Black-owned, woman-owned business that was founded in Ohio, but that can serve the world. Through virtual sessions, either by phone or video conference, we have a conversation. We always start with a 15-minute consult.
Check one, check two. Check one, check two.
We just make sure that I learn a little bit about you, you learn some about me, and then we schedule some time to be intentional about your wellness journey. During the time, it's about education and empowerment. You are your own best doctor from within. So I'm literally someone who is just intentional in the space and drawing questions out of you to get you further on your wellness journey. Sessions are typically starting at $80. But if you mention Kwanzaa 2020, we're going to go ahead and take 20% off. It's about getting you well so that we can be well. Right? Kuji Chagalia and Ujima, collective responsibility. So grateful for the opportunity to support you in your wellness journey. If you're interested, go to my website, spiritoverfleshllc.com. There's a button that says Let's Connect. Fill out the form, and I'll get right back to you. Again, that's spiritoverfleshllc.com. I look forward to supporting you in your wellness journey and healing through words.
Are you heading out of town or have a special occasion? What about birthdays, anniversaries, or reunions? Get the best deals and inexpensive rental car rates, mid-size sedans, compact cars, and more. We have a variety of fleet vehicles to accommodate any and all of your rental car needs. Make a reservation today at your local budget rental car on Hamilton Road in Whitehall. Call 614-863-7500.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing today? Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2.
Happy Kwanzaa. I'm Carla, and my sister.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Own two.
I don't know what's going on,
We've been in
but it
business
ain't
for
sounding
5
right.
years, and we sell a line of natural bath, body, and candle products. Let's take a look. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, at 2 Natural Sisters. All items that are in stock will be shipped within 24 to 48 hours. As a promotional item, we offer a CD of Black romantic poetry of self-love and coupled love, and 50% discount on Sister Locks, Brother Locks by consultant Sapphire Donetta Mahadi. If you have any questions, you can reach us at customer care at 2naturalsisters.com. Enjoy and happy Kwanzaa.
What's going on? My name is Doe. I am the owner and creator of Madeline Gin. Madeline Gin is best described as a celebratory art experience that exudes hella blackness. Initially, the company was founded to provide a luxurious but affordable art experience, and it's since transformed itself into something a bit more spiritual. By walking in what I believe to be my truth, I've been able to get in contact with my ancestors and use my platform and my art, my gift, to tell their untold stories. I do that by using different textures, by utilizing different mediums, colors, and just making things pop out so that it's open for interpretation. I love creating, and I can't wait to be of service to you. Thank you.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times, I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
Oh, it's time to grab a glass, family. It's time for us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go.
Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath. Take it.
Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink.
Take a breath. Take your breath.
Now, grab your glass for some water.
Grab your glass.
Lift your pitcher of that water.
Or a bottle.
Get that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
or should
water.
I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water. Bam. Just move your body. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
or should
water.
I say, move, move, then drink.
Move your body. Move your body.
Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
or should
water.
I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Lift and pour yourself some water.
Pour.
Move your body, drink some water.
Move it.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy. Remember the four pillars. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces.
Eat a culturally appropriate diet.
Behave. Take your breath.
Come on.
Lift and pour.
You can do it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink up.
Come on. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Drink it. Lift it. Drink it. Come on. Drink that health in.
Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath. Take your breath.
Lift and pour.
Lift it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink.
Come on. Come on.
Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Come on, pour it.
Move your body.
Move. Family, come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink.
What?
Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. All right, family. This is the Daily Toast, man. Oh, man, I am so glad that we were able to get it in today. We are going to have a Toast and Talk Imani. So, like I said, the length of the show, it depends on you. But first off, I need to remind you. That's a lot of stuff that I'm taking. You are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and of course this is the Daily Toast. And it will always be a Heart of a Simple production. All day, every day, when we strive. I love this part. To blow up your old paradigms. Man, oh man. So as y'all know, yesterday I got a surprise call right before I started my show. Well, really wasn't a surprise, but it was some help that was needed, and I ran out and did it. But one of the things, because, this is why, it's important to have like minds, but everybody not thinking alike in your tribe. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all got a common goal. Y'all got common values in common, but you think about things differently. So yesterday I was blessed to be able to go and assist with it was basically oh man, I can't even think what to call it. A conference. It was a conference. And the conference was almost totally digital except for the evening. They streamed live. It was a dinner. Of course, social distancing was practiced. We streamed it. So one of my brothers, who, I mean, like I said, he's very good at compartmentalizing things. He's able to see whole systems, and he's able to break it down real good and put the pieces where the pieces need to go to get a total working thing. So then once he break it down, then all he has to do is break it down and basically give the assignments, and great at that. So, and he's a conversationalist. So he was having conversations with some of the staff at the venue. And he found out that one of the staff members was a streamer. So after the whole conference was over, he started talking to one of the streamers who not only streamed his own content, but using a single camera, he broadcast something for a church once a week or once a month or however it was. I didn't get the time, but because he streams it, he charges. So he asked him, because we're trying to get clarity on this, on what we do. He was like, well, how much would you charge for something like this? He said, well, something like this, I don't know. He said, well, cool. What do you charge for what you do? He said, I think it was like $2,600, but I did the math. It broke down to $430 per hour. I said, what? $430 per hour. It's about $2,600. I said, for how long? He said, for 6 hours. I said, that's $400. I'm like, what in blazes? What in the world? $430 per hour. And, so me and him, because, I moved in on the conversation at this time, and I'm listening. I said, damn, we underpricing here. We underpricing here. You know what I'm saying? He got a single camera setup. I don't even know if he do editing. You know what I'm saying? He streams straight out, so he's not even worried about the editing. We stream, we edit, like I said, and he was doing $430 an hour. So, we could look at a lot of bad stuff that came up out of this pandemic, but one of the good things for Giammi, we were positioned to really, really, really benefit from the new world that we're moving in. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to price it. You know what I'm saying? You know how to price it. $2,600 for 6 hours, or $430 per hour. And he might have a 2-man crew. So that's over $200 an hour that they made for a 6-hour day. That's somewhere around $1,800 a piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up like, good. Actually, it's more than that. I'm sitting up like, good grief. Good grief. Oh my God. So, but, and that really got me to thinking, because, like I said, one, the way that we value our talents and the way that other people value our talents, So I got to really go on and do an assessment on that. And then also during the day, I was having we had a few conversations, and one of the things that started coming to me, because a major issue that is happening with GMA is that we're growing slowly, but we have to make some major decisions about some things that we do. Because, like I said, if you got more going out and you got more coming in, then you are destined to fall. You know what I'm saying? There's no business. I don't even know of a form of life that can emit more than it takes in. Unless it's some type of miracle machine. Shouts out to Brother Kwame. I see you out there. Also, shouts out to my auntie, Georgia Ellis. How you doing? So, and so I start thinking about festivals and stuff like that. And it was brought to my attention. Actually, I don't know if she want me to say her name on air, but she say she on air with me all the time. But Sister Navita, 2 years ago, the year right before COVID hit, because we couldn't do it last year, she put together a Juneteenth celebration. But it was a party. It was a private party. And she was able to get more people at that event than we were as a group trying to put on the Malcolm X Fest and some of the other things that we do. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, it was a more diverse audience. We had us, but we also had other friends that were willing to come out because it was more of a party, spontaneous thing. We didn't have to worry about somebody getting up and performing. We didn't have to worry about a stage. You know what I'm saying? What we had to worry about was making sure that there was enough food to provide and support the celebration. Because the celebration is really not necessarily people coming together to show off or to demonstrate, but a celebration is for us to come together and share our joy or share our memories. And that happens in small pockets. It happens spontaneously. You know what I'm saying? And from something like that, that's happening spontaneous like that, if you are able to tap into that energy, you could grow to other things. You could grow, but keeping the important part of a celebration where we're coming together to lay our eyes on each other, to see people that we might not see on a regular basis, and to have conversations that we might not be able to have in other situations. And I think sometimes they get lost in what we would try to do in the whole festival sense, because a lot of stuff I can't even participate in because I'm caught up. I'm doing work. I'm running here. I'm running there. I can't really enjoy myself, right? So I think in the future we are going to be making a hard turn away from some of the ways we've been doing things in the past. Because first off, if one of our members can throw an event that get more people to the event, then why are we spending all these monies on an event where, like, for example, for the type of barbecue and the food and the music and what was set up for that celebration, it was less than a quarter, if even that, of what we would pay, because we got to buy stage, we got to pay for security, you know what I'm saying, we got people have to set up. And I understand people like, well, what about the vendors and stuff like that now, and I understand that, but for some reason, like I said, when we throw stuff, it's even when people hear about it, they don't get super excited about it, but so we have to go on and reevaluate some of the stuff, and that's what we are in discussion for right now. Not just with, because my thoughts are not just with Juneteenth. It's with other ways that we do stuff, because a lot of stuff we still can stream. Hell, we could do a live show right where we are. Don't make a difference. And really, really spread the word, and really, really get some people that might not regularly be interested in some of the stuff that we do, to really get them invested. Because a lot of people just want to chill. I don't want to watch nobody perform. I just want to go somewhere. I want to get me a plate. I want to talk to some people, and I want to go home. I don't care about a performance. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's almost, sometimes I have to, because, as I was thinking about this, I said, damn, is our culture all about performance? Are we performing? Are we providing a space where we could come together every now and then and practice culture, and then go back to doing the shit that we was doing before? We prepare and we do it, and we get to wear our fancy clothes, our cultural gadgets, and just show it off for that day, and then put that shit up and go another 364 days doing the shit that we regularly do. You know what I'm saying? We have a performance culture. You know what I'm saying? Is that what it's about? Because if that's what it's about, I no longer want to deal with it. I don't need a performance culture. My children don't need a performance culture. What my children need, now she late because I'm started my show. What we need is, we need a culture. We need something that is translatable into daily life. But anyway, we are going to do the toast. I need to do something real quick, so let me go on and play some music, and I will be right back, and we will start the toast. Let's take a station break. Would that be better? Let's take a station break.
Beware the six-pack coming down your track like that. Check the mic. 1, 2. The 6-yard train comes through. Quicker than a Pentium data for the next millennium. Spirit informs, no conforms to the norms. Dropping bombs, I let it, said it, meant it. Here to represent it. Some live off the labels of the old school, mold you, and that's the trend. What I tend to see, the new jack ain't new, in fact, just bitten pieces of debris. Recycling fragments of rubble from a somewhat familiar voice, and so many MC and so little choice. This won't make me popular. Dropping the lyrics that appeal and flock to ya. Higher self, I'm just as accurate as Doppler. I'm rocking ya, spiritual sip and sopping my flyer delf, and that goes, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I said I go. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Dearly beloved, we were gathered here to bring up the rear piece to Bopa. We yell. We shed no more tears for fears when I'm chucking my spear. I'm that spook who sat by the door waiting for the big score while you're trying to get yours from the capitalist whore. And the red, white, and blue halter stacks and minis. She shimmies, you follow, you swallow. Losers, non-producers, consumers, consumed propaganda's got me fuming. My people are doomed. Power to the people, power to the seekers. Instead, we're reduced to amps and speakers. $200 sneakers, acquisitions of blue designer suits, Benz and Lexus, battle of sexes, sport utility trucks and such. We're slaves to a quick buck. We run amok. How far can we run when we're stuck? The race is won by wisdom, not muscle. Still, we all struggle. Should we excuse the hustle for instant gratification, perpetuation of cultural mutilation? Y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey. I go. I say, hey, y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey. We should be reaching for Orion. Instead, we have a love affair with dying. Getting drunk till we fold and dole till we blowed. Does the superficial high suffice for the lows? No time for idle. Introspection and life lessons are everyone's Quran, Torah, Bible. Gluttonous eats, defeats the true purpose of eats. The temple falls off from foreign chemicals, toxins, and meats. You call food enriched when it's stripped of nutrients and bleached. I'm not meant to be reached when flesh tone band-aids are peach. Every native / European contract was breached. What will Ebonics do for the disenfranchised? Mumia gets no justice cause Mumia is despised. Reverse discrimination versus racism on Splice tongues is what the Western language gives. So isn't broken English like a double negative, yo? Yo, hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. I go. I go. I go. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
We are back. We are back. That was Brother Malik, and with Hey Y'all. Hey, but like I had some something I had to look at real quick, as far as family issue, barber. Had to arrange a barber thing, and I didn't get my phone until the show started. But y'all know how stuff go down here at Gianni Journey. We gonna keep it real with you. Try to as much as we possibly can, even though I don't like the term transparency, so I won't use that shit, see-through. I don't want no see-through shit. But anyway, can you get you want a transparent house? How about a transparent bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Want transparent? You want transparency? You know what I'm saying? You want to see everything that everybody do? Not me. But anyway, we about to do the toast. I'm going to grab some old stuff, because I am about to, after we get done here, I am going to go and start bottling up that ambrosia. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but life happened. I had to get out and handle business. Now, let me tell you this. I ran out to my phone acting up, so I tried to cut off my phone. My phone wouldn't cut off. So I ran out to my car, and I tried to start my car, and it don't start. So I jump it, and then I start seeing the battery light come on. So I'm having a battery issue, and I'm sitting up here like, oh my God, I got to be over here. So I run in the house, and forgetting that I got another car outside, I say, hey, I need a ride. My wife like, I don't want to give you a ride. You got another car? I said, oh yeah. So I ran out to the other car, start the car, jump in it, pull off, move down the street, and my car started to overheat. So I'm sitting up here like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I say, who messing with me? What is going on, ancestor? What's going on? So I have to get a ride to the place. I got 2 cars sitting at the house acting up. Two. You know what I'm saying? Older cars, but still, so I had to get dropped off at the place. And it turned out, it was a nice experience, being able to watch and participate in a conference being put together, not just streaming, not just streaming, but, closed rooms or closed digital rooms where people were able to come together and share fantastic information. It was beautiful. It was OAPSE, Ohio Alliance of Black Educators. The Ohio, it was a nice event put together very well. We want to make sure, we're able to give people flowers while they're here. You don't like his name being said, so I ain't gonna say his name, but we gonna give the organizer of that event a round of applause. Beautiful event, bringing together black educators, and you got to hear that the idea of black education in America is shifting, right? And a lot of people are going to get upset about it, but it's shifting back to what it was, or how it was prior to Brown versus Board of Education. One of the key pieces that we have to remember when we start dealing with education, we have to remember the purpose of education, right? Education is helping and training people, not just young people, but training people to be useful to their people, useful to their families, useful to their tribes. And right now in the education system, we're having a lot of problems because when we are educating some of our young people, they don't see themselves in it, and they don't see the usefulness of it, and they don't plug into the importance of it, right? Because math is important, but can you connect math to the current life situations that our young people are living and give them a vision in which they can see how their advancement in math more can move past just counting money and be of use in a community. Can you connect history to these young people so that they can understand their role in human history, right? And their and how they are to use this knowledge to move forward. Can you use the education and plug the children back into, or the person that is being educated back into who they are, so they can learn to see the world more clearly through their lens and know how the decisions they are making is not only affecting them, but affecting all other people, right? Especially your group, right? There's I keep on going back to it, but making yourself useful, making yourself able to serve, so, and you're hearing it, and what's starting to happen is because, like, as more and more people start having these conversations, the more you're going to start seeing shifts. You're going to start seeing shifts, and you're going to start seeing young people getting super involved in their education, right? See, because we have a very unique situation. So we need a very unique, not complicated, but a unique solution to getting our children to invest in learning. You know what I'm saying? We want to, we want to act as if all of us are the same. You know what I'm saying? All of us ain't immigrants that came here. You know what I'm saying? All of us are not. An immigrant mindset is different, right? It's very different. So it kind of explains some of the differences, right? Why somebody could come over here, not speak the language, be able to pick up the language, and be able to move forward, because this not only has to do with their innate intelligence, it has to do with their group intelligence, right? And it not only has to do with their individual self-esteem, it has to do with their group self-esteem. So if we look at the innate intelligence of our babies, it's incredible, right? But when we look at the group intelligence, and this includes all of us, as smart as some of us are, group-wise, we dumb as hell. Group-wise, we are remedial, right? Because we have no focus on our group. We think it's all about, you know what I'm saying? Because the group can't be based on making money. What you're doing is we have given in to the idea that it's okay for us to train our children to be mercenaries. And a lot of our children is like, I don't want to be a mercenary. I don't want to even be involved with this. You don't seem happy, so why should I continue gathering this education so that I could be unhappy too? You are of no service to the people, so yeah. You're no service to me. Why do I need this? But then we get upset and we blame it on the children. But it's not the children, family. It's our group and our tribal. It's the view. It's our view of the world, because we don't see ourselves in the world. We don't see it. We don't see our value. We don't see our contribution to humanity. We don't see our contribution to the country. We don't see our contribution to the state. We know about all those things, and we don't see our contribution to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you need to get out. You need to make money, so they boom, boom, boom. And it's like, all right, cool, all right, so unless I am extraordinary and pick up stuff naturally, more than likely I am not going to live a good life. So why even try? See, for black folks, to be exceptional means you're going to be successful. But if you're mediocre, you're going to live an all right life. And what we have to start preparing and start developing for our young people is that, okay, if you're mediocre, it's okay. We have a place for you, because this is what This is what other communities do for them, because there is still a use for you. There's something that you can master. There's something that you could become proficient enough at to be of service and to be of use and to be able to extend yourself, because as a social based beings, we want to serve the collective. We want to find a way to serve the collective, but it's kind of hard right now, right? So what we have to do as educators, what we have to do as adults, is start helping to define this and redefine it and get it so that we could go, in a sense, package it and start incorporating it into our curriculum, into what we teach our young people, into their whole experience, so that they could come out of kindergarten and be of use. They could come out of first grade and be of use. They could come out of second grade and be of use. They have mastered certain skills that they could participate with in the collective and feel a sense of accomplishment. But hey, but that's me. All right, but anyway, first off, we're going to lift up our glass and we're going to salute the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass and we salute. And you know what we say? We say that word of power around here. If you got a word of power at home, by all means use it. But here on Gianni Journey, we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. By the way, I don't have on, I got on the Gianni red, but I have figured out how to get the Daily Toaster shirts in the store. So if you go to the store on our Facebook page, it will take you, you click on a link, and you click on the picture, it'll take you straight to the store, and you go in and you can pick your color for the Daily Toast. Man, oh man, it's popping, right? So, like I said, we trying to get better here at Gianni Journey. Some of y'all gonna see some of our stuff popping up, because I'm trying to master this whole do an ass, because you got, in order to really do to make money, you have to go on and extend money. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, like I said, we got to refocus some of the places where we, what is the return, because we have to be responsible for what the family is trusting us with, what we are investing in ourselves, so that we can start creating seeds that will be able to produce something, so that we can have some young people, in a few years, graduating from high school and coming working straight for Gianni Journey, or at least be able to possibly have a place where they could come and intern, with a possibility of proving themselves useful enough to be able to be like, boom, hey, I want to do this, fool. All right, cool, we got you. You good. But anyway, so from there, we move on to our list of ancestors. We lift up our glass. And of course, we're going to go down the list as we usually do. I'm going to try to go as far as I can. We got Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Tech Center, Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Christopher, and Guest, and Alina. Oh, my God. I'm mixed up. Hold on. Let me start over. I remember somebody doing this last night. We got Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robin the Tech Center, Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Christopher, and Guest, and Alina, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, and Geneva Brown, Marco Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Falar, Montague Pimenel, No More Exa, Pat Mott, Romalik Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamayo, The Farmer, Elder Millie Dix, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Hayes, Grace Lundy, Inez Hayes, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulling, Luxter Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lance Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Johnny Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Mel Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copley, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Argo Sosu, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodore Hansberry, Harvey Hansberry Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther, Keisha Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Spell, Slimmy, Sarah Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Percy Moore, Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sergeant Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Haley Investor, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Don Matette Wellman, Fred Douglas Trick II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Soya, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Diddy Monez, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basigi Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and May Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Denise Waters, DePretis Hines, Annis Bostic, Anna Bostic, William Freed, Scantleberry, Wilson Haley, Emma Hine, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilby Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles D. Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy. We got Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClellan, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Toure, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim O'Shea, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniels, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulon Andrew Baker, Patricia Edwin Brooks, Quillen and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Harriet Tubman Case, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker. Let's see, where we at? Geneva Baker. We made it right here. Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleater, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Japel Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harris. No, it's James Hairston. Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donna Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders. Let me see where we at. Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brownlee Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Alver, Mazarine Cooper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Everest McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. Didn't even go to the libation screen. Let's get to the libation screen. Black folks, we got Joy Giles, we got James Carswell, we got Latoya Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Summer Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Mr. Dornton, Johanna, Jashonda Lynette Lewis, Anderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry S. II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al T. Sue Walter, Emma Walter, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walter, William Walter, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem and Como, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Cream Mackey, got Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talger, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Jessica Carl White, Desi Woods, Tillar Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Anwright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Eddie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samanda Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Grace, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Merle, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Merle, Sylvester Foster, James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leather Sr., Gladys Cooper, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Tooth the Don. We got Saber Winston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Minter. We got Steve, We got Margaret Minter. We got Mary Smith, Juan Florence Stith Gibbs, Carl William Duncan Jr., Janet Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nicey, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams, Terry Brown, Teresa Biddle, LaVonna Kincaid, Carla Sawyer, Reverend Jesse Porter, Deacon Ezekiel Dennis, Brenda Porter, Craig Lee Jones, Granny Beulah, Papa Al Reason, Alana Smith, George Gamble Sr., Joseph Garrett. We got LaShonda Jamar, Leroy Raleigh, Mona Yolanda Hunter, Yvonne Patrice Turner, Herman Reeves, Amanda Reeves, Josh Reeves, Nina Kay, Pam Johnson, Vera Reach Fisher, Jerry Johnson McCallum, also known as Mama Moon, Sheila Ann Lee, Panchita Alba, Donna Brooks, Barbara Moses, Ida Spade, Eric Branson, Eric Winston, Darren Bridges, Francisco Matisse, also known as Sonny, Charles Stevenson Jr., King Pleasant, Sarah Keat, Lena Shepard, Burdell Woodland, Mabel Haskins, Wilbur Shepard, Dennis Jackson, William Haskins, Geraldine Jackson, Henry Jackson Sr., Edward Jones, Leslie Travis, Charlize Barnes, DeJuan Lewis Taylor, Madeline Yates, June Dandridge, Daisy Wolfwood, Frederick Smith, James and Amanda Baldwin, Linda Williams, Sally Williams, Vivian Stevenson, Irene Harris, Callie Williams, Abu Scales, Pat Williams, Mrs. Bertha Walker, Tony Ogletree, Grandma Marguerite, Tracy Emery, Hassan Abdur Razak, and we have Vivian Johnson. Family, we lift up our glass. We salute each and every last one of our ancestors, and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to the present moment. Right now, we are on the beautiful day of Imani. That's right. We said the day is Imani. We are on Imani. And as I do every day, I ask you to open up your reticular formation and seek out Imani because it's around you. Find your principal family. Imani, for those that might be confused about what I'm talking about, don't know your day, don't know what shirt you should, what colors go with the day, I'm about to tell you. But you can find out a little bit more about all this if you go to our e-course and learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's free, gnjecourse.com, free, gnjecourse.com. For those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. Harmony is the demonic principle. Trust is what we teach in the M7. Red is the color, as you can see by my Giami hoodie. Gender is the Hermetic law of the day. Male name for the day is Kwesi. Female name is Akasua. And once again, we want to give all of those Imani babies a round of applause. Few of those are Gianni. All right, from there, where do we go? It's a very simple journey, right? We lifting up our glass. We saluting this moment. We're saluting the power of this moment, and we recognize it, and we're going to utilize it to the best of our abilities. We lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe. From there, fam, we're going to do another. We're going to move to our future generations. We're going to toss our children's children onto infinity, and we lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe. From there, where we going? Very simple journey from here. Ain't hard. We're going to move from there to all of our relations. We're going to salute all of our relations because we got to do that, right? And we salute all of our relations and we say, Ashe. going to lift up our glass to all those who might be in need of a libation. We want to lift it up and we want to bless them, right? We want to send that energy out that might be in need. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're mourning or whether they're healing. We want to keep all of our family members who might be in some type of struggle, right? We want to keep them in mind, and we want to lift up our glass, letting them know, and, you know, letting the ancestors know, go and look out for our peoples. We lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe. From there, where do we go? Where are we going from there? Very simple, right? We move to that selfish toast. This is for you. I'm lifting up the glass, and I ask you, as I ask you every day, what is it that you need right now in this moment to move to your greatness? We lift up our glass, and we say, Ashe. From there, family. It's a simple journey, simple step. You ready? We're going to move, and we're going to lift up our glass, right, to our tribe, lifting it up for the tribe. You know what I'm saying? This is your accountability group, not your gang. This is your crew that you work with, that you build with, that you do constructive things with, that you shoot ideas at, and that y'all not only do the talking, but y'all do the work, right? Work, right? You become service to yourself, and to the community, and to your tribe. We lift up our glass to our tribe. My tribe is Giame, as you can see by the shirt. I'm lifting up my glass, and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Very simple journey. From there, we're going to move to toasting the most magnificent, most beautiful, most uplifting, most enlightening, most inspiring individual in the room. And let me not leave out the bravest individual in the room. I lift my glass up to you. And with that, we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. That's some of that old ambrosia. I'm going to be mixing up some of that older ambrosia with that new ambrosia since I got a new storage system. I'm going to be putting some to the side. Celebrations. When we come together as a family. You know, sort of, some of the celebrations, the way we do stuff sometimes, it's like, I know males and females have experience. It's like trying to be with somebody who don't want to be with you. But you keep trying to convince them to be with you. Not realizing that the best way to convince them to be with you is to no longer pursue them and do your own thing. Not to get them, but for you. And I'm starting to feel like an individual that's courting someone that don't want to be with me. All I can do is wish them a good life and move on with my life. And I think as a tribe, that's kind of what where Giami is moving towards now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to court you. You don't want to be with me, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to, I'm trying to bring you into the culture, and you don't want it, and that's okay. You can't do what I do, and you don't want to do what I do, and that's okay. And I think we have to come to terms and be able to say, family, it's okay you don't want to be. It's okay that you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. Right? And we need to start catering more towards those. See, because one of the things that I know or that I have witnessed with social media, with the growth of social media, that you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot to have a good time. Now, more people, it seems like, it seems a little bit better. But constantly trying to cater to those that don't want to be with you is like trying to coach somebody to be in your life that don't want to be in your life. And I'm saying, let's let go and let people be where they are, and let's have the best time of our lives, right? Because because I spent my 20s servicing the community, trying to convince people to come in that didn't want to be in, and 1 out of 100 possibly. You know what I'm saying? To recognize it, right? You know, and I'm like, we can't keep on doing this. We can't keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep doing it. I think what we need to do as a community is to start enjoying ourselves and enjoying our own company and learning to have a good time by ourselves. And I think that will be more attractive to people out there than anything else. It don't take a lot. We get 5 people that want to have a good time together, and guess what? If we got all of the basics covered, the food, you know what I'm saying, the food, the drink, in a sense, the shelter or the safe space, and we cool. We cool. And I think, once again, I'm saying it, I think this is the direction that we're going to move towards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, and I'm kind of thinking this is how people get involved with other stuff. We don't need you. I think because, you know, and I think out of our desperation in trying to reach the people, we kind of push them away. Anybody in agreement? I'm opening up the Black Line so we can kind of talk about this and some other stuff. I'm going to open up the Black Line so that, you know, I want to get some conversation on this. See, because of course y'all know with Giame, we don't, like I said, just with even with the Daily Show, we don't have a big audience, but the audience that we do have is really doing what they can to help us. And I would rather celebrate with them and really get to know them and have experiences with them rather than spend all my time trying to reach somebody that really don't like me, don't want to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to be involved with the culture. And I'm just saying, is that something that we need to think about? Black Line is open, 614-556-4535. I got some other stuff to set up real quick. The Black Line, let me make sure the Black Line is open. But once again, let's take another intermission. Give y'all some time to get yourself together. Go get yourself something to drink. Go use the bathroom, and we will be right back.
You wear the 6-pack coming down your track like that. Check the mic. 1, 2. The 6-guard train comes through. Quicker than a Pentium data for the next millennium. Spirit informs, no conforms to the norms. Dropping bombs, I let it, said it, meant it. Here to represent it. Some live off the labors of the old school, mold you, and that's the trend. What I tend to see, the new jack ain't new. In fact, just bitten pieces of debris, recycling fragments of rubble from a somewhat familiar voice, and so many MC and so little choice. This won't make me popular. Dropping the lyrics that appeal and flock to ya. Higher self, I'm just as accurate as Doppler. I'm rocking ya, spiritual sipping, sopping my flyer delf, and that goes, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I said I go. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Dearly beloved, we were gathered here to bring up the rear piece to Bopa. We yell. We shed no more tears for fears when I'm chucking my spear. I'm that spook who sat by the door waiting for the big score while you're trying to get yours from the capitalist whore. And the red, white, and blue halter stacks and minis. She shimmies, you follow, you swallow. Losers, non-producers, consumers, consumed propaganda's got me fuming. My people are doomed. Power to the people, power to the seekers. Instead, we're reduced to amps and speakers. $200 sneakers, acquisitions of blue designer suits, Benz and Lexus, battle of sexes, sport utility trucks and such. We're slaves to a quick buck. We run amok. How far can we run when we're stuck? The race is won by wisdom, not muscle. Still, we all struggle. Should we excuse the hustle for instant gratification, perpetuation of cultural mutilation? Y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey. I go. I say, hey, y'all, hey. Hey, y'all, hey. We should be reaching for Orion. Instead, we have a love affair with dying. Getting drunk till we fold and dole till we blowed. Does the superficial heights. Suffice for the lows, no time for idle. Introspection and life lessons are everyone's Quran, Torah, Bible. Gluttonous eats, defeats the true purpose of eats. The temple falls off from foreign chemicals, toxins, and meats. You call food enriched when it's stripped of nutrients and bleached. I'm not meant to be reached when flesh tone band-aids are bleached. Every native / European contract was breached. What will Ebonics do for the disenfranchised? Mumia gets no justice cause Mumia is despised. Reverse discrimination versus racism will never be tied. English, the bastard language of the not so civilized. The gift of spliced tongues is what the Western language gives. So isn't broken English like a double negative? Yo, hey. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. I go. Hey, yo.
What do we do about those who don't? They don't care about their ancestors. The bottom line is the dollar. Should we strengthen our forces by constantly trying to recruit them, or should we focus on those that are in? Now, I'm not saying they're both mutually exclusive, because I honestly believe by us focusing on and doing the best for each other, I think that will bring other people in. And what do I mean? If I am constantly trying to reach those people outside the circle, and in a sense neglecting, because now, and this is what I am proposing is happening, and I could be very wrong. In a lot of our organizations, I believe that, and I'm talking about conscious organizations, I'm talking about Black Power organizations, I think a lot of us are so focused on recruiting people in that we neglect those and work the shit out of those that are in it, rather than taking time to celebrate each other and do things for each other. Now, I know there are pockets where it's not exactly like that, but I'm saying, what if we started taking a little bit of money we're able to raise and really, really start doing nice things for those of us? You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about like not buying a car. I'm talking about like, yo, like during Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? We got a tribal barbecue. Come on out. You know what I'm saying? We got hot dogs for the next. We got hot dogs. We got food. You know what I'm saying? Come get a plate. We just gonna make sure that we get plates, cause you know how it is when people get. We got some chicken, you know, some seafood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What if we did a crab boil? You know what I'm saying? For us. You know what I'm saying? And for those that, you know, that want other people that want to come and partake, you come and kick it with us. But I'm not gonna pursue you. I'm not gonna beg you. I'm not gonna spend no money to reach out to you, because I don't even think that we are within our personal networks. I don't even believe that we are using our networks to the fullest. Right? I'm just saying, and I'm talking about more along the lines of events. We could do other things to bring the outside community in, but I think, you know, some stuff, we need to focus on us. Now, what I'm drinking right now, because I'm still in my morning thing, you know, y'all like, it's afternoon, Brother Hot Timber. Hey, I'm old. Right now, I'm drinking a Power Shake, apple berry flavor, and this is a meal replacement type thing. It has like spirulina and a lot of stuff, but it's like whole food, right? So it's like it's gonna provide me with some nutrition that I might not be able to get from some of the products that I do like to eat. You know, so this is Purium. You know, like I said, I'm trying to get ready for my fast, so I'm looking for a private product that I could go and do, allow my body to rest, allow my body to get rid of some of the poisons, and I think I found it. It's not bad tasting either. Shit. But anyway, let's get over to the news. Black Line is open. Black lines are open. Okay? Number is 614-556-4535. Once again, the call-in line is 614-556-4535. Let's see. we want to go to our news screen. I'm about to crush this. All right. Okay, so this is the chat. Let's get off the chat. Make sure the phone lines are open. Let's go to the Giami dashboard. Giami dashboard. It says, okay, look, this is old. We need to refresh this because it says Daily Toast Kaumba. That's yesterday. We on a day. Great Imani to each and every last one of y'all as we move down this timeline, and we're going to have some discussion about the timeline unless you got something else more pertinent that you need to talk about. 614-556-4535 is the number. And you can also see it in your timeline. Now, if you are on one of our personal spaces, like you on Sister Navita's page or you on Brother Hatim's page, and it's not showing up, the number for you is 614-556-4535. Once again, that number is 614-556-4535. Wow, it said people reach 14,240. That's because, of course, the ads and stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to be creative with the little bit of money that I do have. Post engagements 1,271. All right. I mean, hey. Page likes, we got 3 in the last 28 days. Let's just check the last 7 days. As a family, let's go and look at these last 7 days. All right, so we had people reach 6,700 in the last 7 days. Post engagements 320, which is good. They say that's down 11%. Page likes in the last 7 days 2. That's interesting. All right, let's see what happened yesterday. See, you started learning how to look at this stuff. All right, we reached 2,093 people yesterday. Post engagements at 50%. We had 1 page like. They said 1 page like yesterday. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Let's go back to the 28 days. We're going to go back to the 28 days. Get out of here on a good note. So soon, all of this stuff will be green. We're going to keep on working on it. Because, we haven't totally, like I said, once again, we haven't leveraged our network and really found those people. Because we out there. We out here. We know it. We out here. And the question is, how do we find those? How do we find our tribes? You know what I'm saying? How do we find our tribes? Because they out here. And it's just a matter of getting to them. And I ain't just talking about people that because you got some people that are just out there. You know what I'm saying? They different. You know what I'm saying? But they don't work. You know what I'm saying? We need individuals like in Giami. We need people that's willing to come in and do some damn work. As y'all can see, I got the Daily Toaster. I put it up here twice. I was so excited. But you got your Daily Toaster, and you can just click on the link. It'll take you to the store. It'll let you look at it, blah, blah, blah. And you go to checkout on website. It'll take you straight over to the website. When you get to the website, you can pick your color and the size. So I put up some other stuff. It took me a while to figure out how to do it, but I finally found out how to do it. So you can wear the color of the day, you know what I'm saying, when you want to. Now, the basic color, if you want just to cover all your bases, get the basic black. I'm going to put up the t-shirt for men and women as well. You know what I'm saying? The basic black, you could, acceptable on all the days. But you got Umoja. We got Coogee Chakalia. We could use this one for Coogee. Possibly this one. Nah, can't use that one. I guess you could be creative. We got Ujima. Right? We got Ujama. That green. Come on now. You're moving slow, computer. What's going on? Guess it's taking it a while to render that color. That's a rare green, I guess. A kiwi green. We got this green right here. There you go. Right? We got Nia. That yellow one. Woo, I gotta go. I'm gonna have to go on and get me some new ones. We got Ujima. And my fault, we got Kaumba. And of course, we have Imani. So there we go right there, family. There you go. You go to the store, and where do you find the store? The store is on our Facebook page. And you know, once you click in, you can find other stuff because we got all types of stuff in there. So y'all go and check it out. So let's see what we got in the news. CW, Naomi Wiles fans with Casey Warfall and showed first official image. This is another black superhero. See, the CW has some type of arrangement. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Warren because they won. I don't know. But they got a special arrangement with DC. They got their whole Arrowverse popping off. And you got a whole bunch of, black characters come out because that Black Lightning, especially the first season, was hot. So now they got Naomi, and you don't know about her. You're going to check it out. You can read a little bit about the article. A little sister who finds out that she has superpowers. And according to what I'm reading, she got trained by Superman or something like that. So, pretty nice. All right, every now and then look into the sky. May sky watching tips, a rocky planet roundup, and a super blood moon eclipse. What? So this is what's happening this month. So you're going to check it out. Find out May 3rd, the bright planet Saturn will appear to the left of the half-lit moon. May 4th, the moon forms a large triangle in the southeast with the bright planet Saturn and Jupiter. Mid-May, you'll have an opportunity to see all 4 of the rocky inner planets of our solar system at the same time with your own eyes. And May 26th, watch for a total lunar eclipse during the second supermoon of 2021. So you got it. You heard it here, Giame. Keep your head to the sky. All right? And they give you a little bit more information, let you know what a lunar eclipse is and all that. So go and check it out. All right? Read up. If you choose so. If you choose to do so. All right? Oregon lawmaker who opened state capitol to far-right protesters faces charges. And I'm just saying this. He should receive charges for the deaths that are connected with the riot. He should receive some charges for all the shit that happened. Not just the little... Because that's what they're going to do to him. Now, don't do that again. That was wrong. Right? Come on now. Right? They need to set an example with him and continue going to get others that were involved that's higher up. You know what I'm saying? They were organizers. You need to get them and you need to go on and pin some of the deaths on them. Let's keep it moving. Lines open 614-556-4535. I told y'all they're coming for you. They're coming for your menthol cigarettes. FDA ban on menthol cigarettes. Ban for criminal justice and health policy. Now, I'm waiting for the first case for a brother to be, arrested because he got caught with some menthol cigarettes. If this passes. Come on now. We know who smoked menthol cigarettes. Come on now. I ain't fooling nobody. Like I said, man, I was joking, but it could be a real thing. That revolution starts because of menthol cigarettes. Social tensions explode because they done took menthol cigarettes off the shelf. All right. So we got some TikTok videos. Let's go and check those out before I get to my other video. Let's go and look at some of these. Pretty good ones. This dude made a good point. Well, nah.
CNN did an interview recently with former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, about the state of Africa during the pandemic. And to be fair to CNN, they did call out a few Western countries for backing dictators in Africa. But at its core, the message of this segment was that wealthy countries need to help Africa during the pandemic, and there are just all these dictators in Africa who aren't allowing them to deal with COVID. And they say Africa just doesn't have the technology to make these vaccines, which is nonsense. In reality, the World Trade Organization has blocked Africa from being able to import and manufacture the vaccine. They're using intellectual property.
Did y'all hear that? Maybe y'all ain't hear that. I'm not going back. But did y'all hear that? Now he about to drop some more. Hold on.
Property rights to block anyone except Western multinationals from making the vaccine.
He said intellectual property rights from giving anybody else permission to make the vaccine. if you are outside of the companies that supposedly have created this vaccine, even if you are able to find it as similar enough, they could sue you and destroy your whole country because you decided that you wanted to make your own vaccine.
What the media tries to do with Africa is create a white savior complex. They act like, oh, these people can't develop themselves. We need to help them, give them charity. When in reality, of course they could develop themselves. You know who vaccinated all his people? Thomas Sankara, and the French killed him for it. On the next segment about Africa, CNN should ask why the U.S. has continued their drone campaign during COVID. CNN did an interview recently.
Nice work, white dude. His name is Eddie Lagersmith. Eddie Lagersmith. Pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I didn't follow him yet. I won't see, some more good stuff pop up on the timeline. But I enjoyed that. These little short apps that allow you to get information. Let's check this one. Patrick on TikTok. Can't remember why I put them up on the timeline, but you go through it yourself. You can replay it as many times as you want. Go ahead.
Here's my current top pick for most gut-wrenching way in which we disenfranchise minorities in America.
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. A lot of us know this. But like I said, in TikTok, they give you a quick elevator speech because you only got 60 seconds. So I want y'all to listen to what he says. Gut-wrenching ways in which white supremacy is basically destroying our community.
Step 1, disproportionately imprison black people. Step 2, relocate black prisoners into prisons in rural white districts. Step 3, legally change their residency to the district that they're imprisoned in.
So, now we know this, but once again, maybe many of us don't know this. So when our cousin Pookie goes to jail and goes to state prison, he is moved into a white suburban area. This is why all the prisons are in these little small white towns. Is relocated to that place, and he is counted as a resident of that place, rather than him being counted by where he come from and where he's going to go back to. All right.
Step 4, count them in the population census for that district. Step 5, now when we decide how many representatives each district gets, the white communities get more because they have more people in them, even though the black population there can't vote because they're prisoners. While the black communities where the prisoners are coming from are losing representatives. You're literally stealing democratic power from black communities and placing it in white ones. You are using their bodies without their consent to gain power. That is a form of slavery, and it's happening everywhere always. Here's my current top pick for most gut.
What do you think? Let's give them a round of applause. We're going to give both of those young dudes a round of applause. Now, what we have a young contingency of white people that are coming into the knowledge of what was done and what is being done by their elders and their ancestors to keep them in the position that they are in. And they're speaking out against it. Dope. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, it's good people everywhere. Just a matter, you just got to take some time and look. All right, here go one. This is Charles the Cazador on TikTok. And it's going to get us a little bit into what I really want to talk about today.
They can only make money off of sick people, not healthy people. Heart medicine, dandelions, and Roundup. That sounds crazy, right? But you know what? They all fit together like a puzzle. You know why? Those little yellow dandelions that grow in your yard that they tell you to hate, they're terrible. They're actually the greatest thing on the earth for your heart. The enzymes and the electrolytes can literally cleanse and strengthen your heart valves and muscles more than anything else, and it's natural and free. The crazy thing is, the same company that owns the heart medicine, that is the highest sold heart medicine in the entire world, that makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year, is the same exact company that owns Roundup. Yeah. They can only make money off of sick people, not healthy people. Heart medicine, dandelions, and Roundup. That sounds crazy, right? But you know what? They all fit together like a puzzle. You know why? Those little yellow dandelions that grow in your yard that they tell you to hate, they're terrible. They're actually the greatest thing on the earth for your heart. The enzymes and the electrolytes can literally cleanse and strengthen your heart valves and muscles more than anything else, and it's natural and free. The crazy thing is, the same company that owns the heart medicine, that is the highest sold heart medicine in the entire world, that makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year, is the same exact company that owns Roundup. Yeah.
Get it? You get it? Now now Roundup is gonna pop up in the conversation in a couple of minutes. It's gonna pop up in the conversation in a couple of minutes because we got to have this conversation, family. We're about to have this conversation. Hold on. We got a few more things to go through. Once again, Black Line is open, 614-556-4535. This is a haiku I did last night. Your life is saying, slow down and unmute yourself. It cannot hear you. Now, I posted this up yesterday. And this is from one of the workshops. Let me read it for you. It says, modern schooling shaped by NCLB, RTTT, based heavily on assessment in literacy and math, reflect the desire of the business community and corporate foundations going back to A Nation at Risk, 1983. All right. So once again, let's get into the whole education piece. This was posted up by an educator. I don't know what an educator was, but they're starting to ask questions and they're starting to wonder about the methods that they are using and the tests that they are giving our children. Why? You know what I'm saying? They're starting to ask the question, why? Right? So it reflects the desires of business community and corporate foundations. So the children are being trained not to serve their communities, not to even serve the nation, but to serve the corporation. This is what they're being trained to do. Please understand that. Now let's move down. Underperforming public school system was blamed for lagging national economy and posed a national security risk. This is why they start taking initiatives, because they were saying that our children were becoming a national security risk. Right? So they needed to go on and take control of the education. Underperforming public school systems was blamed for lagging national economy and posed a national security risk. So they believe that if they start training the kids in these basic things up that we read about up here, it would better get the school ready. But this is all a mask. It's all a game. So let's get this, the one I want you to say. School today reflects the desire of corporations to have legions. And listen, I want you to, legions of non-critical order takers. And where all that matters is that which is quantifiable. Right now, in the way that school is done, your child is nothing but a number that needs to be processed and taught how to think. Better yet, what to think, not how to think. Non-critical order takers. Schooling today reflects the desire of corporations to have legions of non-critical order takers. They don't want you to know how to think. They just want you to know how to do what you are told. That's it. And we send our children to these schools and wonder why they're rebelling. The only thing that matters is that which is quantifiable. If I can't measure it, it's not real. Brother Kwame said, what happened to the skilled labor training where a brother or sister can do his or her own business? They took that on. You know what happened to that. He asking y'all. We know what happened to that, don't we, Gianni? You know what I'm saying? Those is critical thinkers. To create your own business, you got to be a critical thinker. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to recognize there's a problem and have the thinking skills to solve the problem. And then package your solution and then sell the solution to the problem. Hell, sometimes you could be so smart that you cause the problem that you create the solution for. That's a whole nother level. Anyway, Takeover Modern Schooling is a global effort sustained by the international NGOs like IMF and World Bank, as well as multinational corporations. Family. Did y'all not hear that? Your local school system has been taken over by international interest, and your children are being turned into thoughts. Those non-critical holes over there. Non-critical holes over there. Non-critical holes over there. Not hot. They're being turned into not hots. Non-critical holes over there. Male and female. All right. But go and check it out. You go and read that. I mean, I don't have a lot on there, but y'all know y'all can do some discussion with it. You can share it with other people. You do know you can take some of the stuff off of Giame and you can share it with other people. I reposted a video by Heli Jarima where I break down. He talks about the battlefield of the 21st century. And of course, you know that's the mind, family. I mean, didn't we just mention that up there? Your mind. I don't need you thinking. You thinking costs me money. I just need you to put A into B. I don't need you thinking. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And if you do think, I want you to think about what I'm paying you to think about. That's it. Don't ask no questions. Just get me the product that I'm asking. I don't care who it hurts. I don't care how it poisons the environment. You're doing too much thinking. How does this benefit the country? Here's a little video, old video I did. Does everyone's opinion does not matter? Seth Gooden speaks on that. Then I do a little commentary after it. Lessons from the movie Kung Fu. Fear is the only darkness. Man, I love Kung Fu. I ain't gonna go into that. I also reposted a mindset motivation. Sister Tracy did an excellent job on that. Go and check that out. The focus of this talk is focus. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, my proverb of the day. Check out the African proverb. This is the one from 4:30. So this was, I'm a day behind. Here go the folk tale for the day. Wow, they popping up. Okay, all right. So I want to go back past and get to some. Is an opportunity. Creators are making bank selling Google spreadsheets. So some of y'all that might be looking that have some basic skills with Google spreadsheets, I'm posting this up here so that you can have some ideas. Brother Kwame put up NCH Incots or Inkits. You little Inkits, get over there. Incots. Nigerian team gets 19 scholarship offers worth over $5 million in U.S. and Canada. She must be smart. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, y'all. Go and read about that. This is CNN. I'm moving fast. After dropping out of college in Nigeria, these tech entrepreneurs have now snapped up by themselves. They were snatched up by a business called Y Combinator. Go and read about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want y'all to get frustrated with y'all kids. Like, why can't my... No. You know, like I said, like I said, luck of the draw. But you still can be brilliant, and we still can push our children, and we just got to get them to understand that they could use their skills to serve a small collective. I was talking to one of my young people yesterday who was schooling me on TikTok, and we kind of have a disagreement on it. You know what I'm saying? He got his way of doing it. I got my way of doing it. I respect his way. Like I said, I just respect how I do my things. And he like, your lighting messed up, blah blah blah. You're not using it right. I'm using it for. You know what I'm saying? So tell me how to use it. And he couldn't put it in words. He said, all your stuff is old. You just old. Your lighting sucks. I said, okay. I say, that's cool. That's cool. But the point that I'm trying to make, and I made to him, he said, see, you're not, you get these quick views, because on TikTok, you could just stop for a second and they count that as a view. And you keep moving. I don't even have to watch it the whole time. I just stop and okay, all right, for a second, okay, boom. You know what I'm saying? That he said that don't count. I said, but the comments and the likes and all that stuff. And it's like, yo, my goal is not to go viral. And I'm bringing it back to you and a young person in your life. My goal is not to go viral. My goal is to find my tribe. See, because what a lot of people that use this social media don't understand, that if you have some type of business where you are bringing value to your customers, you don't need over 1,000 customers. 1,000 customers will make it possible for you and possibly a few other people to be able to make a great living online, providing service and providing value to them. See, you don't need hundreds of thousands. Now, the more you get that are loyal fans or loyal supporters, the better. But in all actuality, as individuals, we don't need over 1,000. And in some cases, depending on the product that you have, you don't need over 100. So I'm using TikTok in a different way than you. You know what I'm saying? My issue is I'm sending out a signal for my tribe. And I know I got more than 1,000. It's more of 1,000 Hot Tims and Kwame's and Navitas and Miss Tracy's out there. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun's and there's more than 1,000 of us out there. They're just waiting for the signal to come. You know what I'm saying? So all I got to do is be consistent with my signal. All I got to do is be consistent with my advertising. All I got to do is be consistent with my content. You know what I'm saying? And people will get it. Because those that are turning off my content because my lighting is not perfect. Like, you know, he said, your lighting sucks. Your letters are old. I said, can you read it? He said, yeah, but it's old. I'm like, if you could read it, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying there's going to be a lot of people, whether I'm talking about TikTok or Instagram, that's not going to look at my shit because I got gray hair. And I'm not trying to hide that shit. I love my gray hair. I'm older. I earned this age. So there's going to be a lot of people that's turned off about this. They're not in my tribe. They're in a youth culture. And congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm happy, very happy for you. But that's not me. Right? So when you have your young person, get them to understand that you don't have to service 100,000 people. You don't have to develop the next hot app. You don't have to come out with the next hot product. You just need to be able to present value at your age right now. If you're 19 to 100 people, and you're going to do just fine. And just continue growing and continue serving that 100 people until it's up to 1,000. And then possibly maybe you get 2,000 or 3,000. We don't need hundreds of thousands of people to do what we do at Giame. Now, don't get me wrong, it'll be nice, but that's not the goal. And anybody that's thinking that's the goal, you got it fucked up. Just like with the festivals, we've been shooting to try to get thousands of people. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get 50 happy people that's actually enjoying themselves that could go out and be like, man, they threw a nice party. Man, those chicken wings and that fish was the bomb. I can't wait for their next event. Well, I want to go. Well, I don't know if you got an invite, but you know, they say people come. You just can't come with that bullshit. I ain't coming on no bullshit. All right, come on out. Let's have a good time. So y'all go and check that out. You know, some more proverbs of the day. Look, he's like, your letter's old. Your intro is stupid. I say cool. My tribe like it. For me, that's all that counts. Right? For me, it's about tribe building. My tribe likes it. Right? I'm responding to comments, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. I try to respond to people within a certain amount of time. I try to let them know I appreciate their comments, or if they have questions, I can answer, or if I have questions, because some of these young people be posting up words that I have no idea what they mean. So I had to be like, yo, I'm older. Could you please help me out? Developing a connection with the people that's listening and the people that's watching. And that's the goal. I don't need 100,000. Hell, Hannibal and Alexander the Macedonian had armies of what? Less than 50,000? Brought countries to their knees? It's not the quantity, my friend. It's the quality. You know what I'm saying? Looking for those warriors. Where I get 1,000 of them gathered. You know what I'm saying? If we are strategic enough, we could take down a behemoth. Just saying. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Now, something is wrong. I had some other posts. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Y'all ready? So, now, homeboy mentioned in the video, a TikTok video that I showed you, the brother digging up the dandelion. He dug up the dandelion to get the root. Because, family, dandelion root is a fantastic herb. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the foundation herbs that we use around Giame. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about the Kwame drink or the Death Eater, dandelion is always one of those things, one of my first go-to things, especially for preventative health. Now, when you're already sick, I don't know what to do. But as far as the preventative stuff, dandelion root is cold. Another one is burdock. But anyway, both of those, Roundup can't kill them. The motherfuckers keep coming up. But Roundup, right? 15 health problems linked to Monsanto's Roundup. Now, this is possible sicknesses. And I want to stress, because I'm going to go back to a video that I posted a couple of days, and we're going to finish the video, and I'm going to do a little bit of commentary, because I'm telling you right now, as Giame, we done went full circle. Right? What do I mean full circle? Because when I first started talking about that ambrosia, I was telling y'all about the microbiome. And once again, we are moving back into the phase of Giame where we need to go on and rediscuss the microbiome, because some of us are forgetting and we're getting new information. New information. So let's go and look at this. 15 health problems linked to Monsanto's Roundup, or supposed 15 links. So, we could read through that. You can read through that for yourself. But actually, let's read the whole thing. Monsanto invented the herbicide glyphosate. Now, we're going to hear about glyphosate in this video I'm about to play for y'all. And brought it to market under the trade name Roundup in 1974, after DDT was banned. But it wasn't until the late 1990s that the use of Roundup surged, thanks to Monsanto's ingenious marketing strategy. The strategy? Genetically engineering seeds to grow food crops that could tolerate high doses of Roundup. With the introduction of these new GE seeds, farmers could now easily control weeds on their corn, soy, cotton, canola, sugar, beets, and alfalfa sprouts. Crops that thrive while the weeds around them were wiped out by Roundup. In nearly 20 years of intensifying exposure, scientists have been documenting the health consequences of Roundup and glyphosate in our food, in the water we drink, in the air we breathe, and where our children play. Listen, eager to sell more of its flagship herbicide, Monsanto also encouraged farmers to use Roundup as a desiccant to dry out all their crops so they could harvest them faster. So Roundup is now routinely sprayed directly on host of non-GMO crops, including wheat, barley, oats, canola, flax, peas, lentils, soybeans, dry beans, and sugarcane. That's just about everything. Between 1996 and 2011, the widespread use of Roundup-ready GMO crops increased herbicides use in U.S. by 527 million pounds. Even though Monsanto claimed its GMO crops would reduce pesticides and herbicide use, Monsanto has falsified data on Roundup safety and marketed to parks, park departments, and consumers as environmentally friendly and biodegradable to encourage its use on roadsides, playgrounds, golf courses, schoolyards, lawns, and home gardens. A French court ruled those marketing claims amounted to false advertising. Now, a French court, not American, a French court. In nearly 20 years of intensifying exposure, scientists have been documenting health consequences of Roundup and glyphosate in our food, in the water we drink, in the air we breathe, where our children play. I like how this dude wrote this, or this female, this lady wrote this. Let's see who wrote this. Let's give them a round of applause. Great writing. This is from EcoWatch and is a guest contributor. So the guests ain't put their name. So now, see, this is why I'm saying possible, right? Because they ain't put their name. You know, maybe Monsanto was so big that people don't want to publicly. You know how people with money get, right? You know how people with money get. They found that people who are sick have higher levels of glyphosate in their bodies than healthy people. So people who are sick, and we ain't talking about like laying on the bed dying, but people who have certain diseases, they have higher rates of glyphosate in their bodies than healthy people. Hold on, wait. You know what I'm saying? What type of diseases? But hold on. I'm not done. We're not done. I'm just beginning. They also found the following health problems, which they attribute to exposure to Roundup and or glyphosate. And I know some of y'all like, I don't even use that shit. I don't even like doing yard work. But once again, the waste spills off into the water, like when the rain comes and it washes it down into the sewers, and the sewers take it to the water source, and then the sewers take the water so that it can be cleaned and reused. And if you drink it, some of the water is there, right? It evaporates with the water and goes up in the clouds, and it rains back down on us. It also floats in the air, and you breathing it in. It's getting inside of the food that you eat because they use it to kill the weeds that attack your food. So you're getting this into your system. So hold on. ADHD. In farming communities, there's a strong correlation between Roundup exposure and attention deficit disorder, likely due to glyphosate capacity to disrupt thyroid hormone functions. Alzheimer's disease. In the lab, Roundup causes the same type of oxidative stress and neural cell death observed in Alzheimer's disease. And it affects CAMK2, an enzyme whose dysregulation has also been linked to the disease. Birth defects. I'm going to try to pronounce this. Anencephaly. Birth defects. An investigation into neural tube defects among babies born to women living within 1,000 meters of pesticide applications showed an association for glyphosate and anencephaly, the absence of major portions of the brain, skull cap, that form during embryonic development. Autism. Glyphosate has a number of known biological effects that align with the known pathology associated with autism. One of these parallels is the gut dysbiosis observed in autistic children, and in the toxicity of glyphosate to beneficial bacteria that suppress pathogenic bacteria, along with pathogenic bacteria high resistance to glyphosate. In addition, glyphosate capacity to promote aluminum accumulation in the brain may make it the principal cause of autism in the U.S. And it stresses may. Birth defects. Roundup and glyphosate can disrupt the vitamin A, retinoic acid, signaling pathways, which is crucial for normal fetal development. The babies of women living within 1 kilometer of fields sprayed with glyphosate were more than twice as likely to have birth defects, according to the study. From Paraguay, congenital effects quadrupled in a decade after Roundup-ready crops arrived in Chaco, a province in Argentina where glyphosate is used roughly 8 to 10 times more per acre than in the USA. Study of one farming family in the U.S. documented elevated levels of glyphosate and birth defects in the children, including in perforated anus, growth hormone deficiency, hypocydias, an abnormal placed urinary hole, a heart defect, and micropenis. Damn. Grab my nuts. Man. Brain cancer. In a study of children with brain cancer compared with healthy children, researchers found that if either parent had been exposed to Roundup during the 2 years before the child's birth, the chance of the child developing brain cancer doubled. Breast cancer. Glyphosate induces human breast cancer cells grow via estrogen receptors. The only long-term animal study of glyphosate exposure produced rats with mammary tumors and shortened lifespans. Cancer. I'm kind of depressed. Let's just go on through the names of them. We got, good God, cancer, celiac disease and gluten intolerance, chronic kidney disease, colitis, depression, diabetes, heart disease, hypothyroidism, inflammatory bowel disease, or also known as leaky gut syndrome, liver disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, non-Hodgkin lymphoma, Parkinson's disease, pregnancy problems, infertility, miscarriage and stillbirths, obesity, reproductive problems, respiratory illnesses. You might also like Monsanto Roundup found in 75% of air and rain samples. Monsanto Roundup found in 75% of air and rain samples. Brazil seeks ban on Monsanto herbicide due to alarming toxicity risks. BPA exposure linked to rising rates of male infertility. Now, family, we got a problem on our hands. Now, not only do we got to deal with white supremacists, we got to deal with mad scientists too. Mad white supremacist scientists. Hold on. All right, come on now. Let's go on back to the page because now you have a new way of looking at a video that I showed you, right? Let's keep it moving. Here it come. Come on. There we go right here. Now, we're going to take another break because we've been on here for a minute. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come on and record because I want to record this conversation because this one is not going to take too long. But we're going to go through this video and we're going to listen because remember all the stuff that we read about it and why I'm on break. Take some time to read the article. That's up there on Giame about glyphosate. Check it out. Read it so that when we come back and we go over this video right here, y'all won't be shocked. Y'all won't be disillusioned. The okie doke won't be able to be ran on you. And then also, not only am I going to point out the problem, I'm going to tell you some solutions. Some of the stuff that you could do to protect yourself and to protect your family. So family, I shall return. Well, better yet, we just going to let because I think they're going to play Malik again because that's where we at. That's family, so we're going to let him go on and do his thing.
You wear the six-pack coming down your track like that. Check the mic. 1, 2. The 6-guard train comes through. Quicker than a Pentium data for the next millennium. Spirit informs, no conforms to the norms. Dropping bombs, I let it, said it, meant it. Here to represent it. Some live off the labels of the old school, mold you, and that's the trend. What I tend to see, the new jack ain't new. In fact, just bitten pieces of debris. Recycling fragments of rubble from a somewhat familiar voice. And so many MC and so little choice. This won't make me popular. Dropping the lyrics that appeal and flock to ya. Higher self, I'm just as accurate as Doppler. I'm rocking ya. Spiritual sip and sopping my flyer up and it goes, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I said I go. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. capitalist whore. And the red, white, and blue halter stacks and minis. She shimmies, you follow, you swallow. Losers, non-producers, consumers, consumed propaganda's got me fuming. My people are doomed. Power to the people, power to the seekers. Instead, we're reduced to amps and speakers. $200 sneakers, acquisitions of blue designer suits, Benz and Lexus, battle of sexes, sport utility trucks and such. We're slaves to a quick buck. We run amok. How far can we run when we're stuck? The race is won by wisdom, not muscle. Still, we all struggle. Should we excuse the hustle for instant gratification, perpetuation of cultural mutilation? Y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
I go. I say, hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, hey.
We should be reaching for Orion. Instead, we have a love affair with dying. Getting drunk till we fold and dole till we blowed. Does the superficial high suffice for the lows? No time for idle. Introspection and life lessons are everyone's Quran, Torah, Bible. Gluttonous eats, defeats the true purpose of eats. The temple falls off from foreign chemicals, toxins, and meats. You call food enriched when it's stripped of nutrients and bleached. I'm not meant to be reached when flesh tone band-aids are peach. Every native / European contract was breached. What will Ebonics do for the disenfranchised? Mumia gets no justice cause Mumia is despised. Reverse discrimination versus racism will never be tied. English, the bastard language of the not-so-civilized. The gift of spliced tongues is what the Western language gives. So isn't broken English like a double negative? Yo, hey.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
I go. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
Y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, Lord, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, Lord, hey.
I roll like this, I roll like that, because my group is crazy back. I roll like this, I roll like that, because my group is all of that.
Lyrical loudmouth, my style's a dignity various in form. Must I go on?
Yes, go on.
Kinetic energy flows, I'm on the Fritz in a stretch. Black magic in my vocal tone produces spasmatic. Biggity boo boo and Swahili with the bikini basket. My vocab was in freaks, cocky, nothing blocks me. Liberty, hoppity, rah rah. Ferocious, make like doses, and no mere mortal can stop me. I'm super as old as Wahini, Gamuku, allodosis. Explosive, non-corrosive, PhD in rap hypnosis. My product be so dope, well now none of y'all can come. My recipe be all of that. Don't even think about tricking me. Ain't your mama had a taste and had to change her identity. My ruffle do have bitches, but I'm no potato chip. My mic is a gun and I shall bust the clip. If you're dipping in my flavor, trying to follow my flow, you're lost. By George, which way did he go? I'm making it mean, oh my lord, which way did he go? Oompa Loompa, ooh cha cha, which way did he go?
Nick Nubian Nectar, fly girl selector, flexi director, microphone checker. So this boy's coming up this album, clientele never fail, black man excel.
Let me check, make sure our lines are open. Black line is open, 614-556-4535. Let's go and let's get it. We on the video. We're gonna go on and cue up the video for you. Make sure we get it in large screen so that there's no excuses. We're gonna start. We stopped at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. So we're gonna continue where we left
different
off.
diseases because they all started going epidemic at once, which really begged the question: is there
All right,
a
let's just start over. Let's start over because hold on, let me push record. All right. Wanna welcome you.
We've literally built an entire economy of not just the United States, but the entire Western.
All right, so what we got is Chemical Farming and the Loss of Human Health by Dr. Zach Bush. We're going to be doing some commentary on this while he's talking because remember what we covered earlier, all of the diseases that some have found to be connected with glyphosate. Now, I'm not saying have been found because correlation is not causation. There's correlations between certain diseases and this chemical called glyphosate. right? There's other chemicals out there as well, but glyphosate is one that we could focus on and one that we could do something about. Now, so we're gonna start this video. It's drawn by, I don't know the name of the group, but let's see, because we want to make sure everybody get their credit because they do an excellent job. This is not the first one I see. It's called After School. So they put these up because they want to educate people. And you go to After School on YouTube. They got 1.8 million subscribers. They be giving some good information. They're one that I follow. I got, oh, no, I don't. Let me subscribe. Oh, I'm not subscribed on this channel right here, but I'm subscribed on Giami Journey, which is where I watch all my videos. So we're going to enlarge it. We're going to start the video, and we're going to start our commentary. Please listen and pay attention. It may save your life.
Civilization on healthcare. And that's been a hidden reality for a long time. But for thousands of years, the real control of populations has been around their food. And we find.
So now, point one, family, if you want to control the population, you control their food. So not only are they controlling food throughout the country, we know in our communities that the food supplies and the food choices that are available in our community are done so for a certain reason, right? You want to control the population, you control what they eat, right? What do you get when you get somebody that's raised up on all processed foods? Somebody that is possibly more vulnerable to an education system that would train them to be non-critical thinkers, or as we call them, incots. Incots, that incot over there, non-critical thinker. All right, let's keep it moving.
Find ourselves in that same, if not amped up version now that we have 7 billion souls on the planet. That becomes very, very big business when you start to be able to control food, and we see that.
Now, this is why you will find articles where it might not be individuals that are saying anything, because Monsanto is a big ass business, but I'm so small that I'm not really, I'm not really a threat, right? I just want to make sure that my family, my tribe, the small group of people that listen to us here at Giami Journey and support us and support our shows, I want to make sure that you got the information that you need, regardless of the risk or the damage, right?
The ultimate political control is around the food chain and whether it delivers health or not.
Read that again. The ultimate political control is around food, the food chain, and whether it delivers health or not. So this is a political thing too. It gets into the politics around our community and what politics are allowing in. And not only allowing in, but allowing what to be financed and what can be subsidized. Lord have mercy.
I've basically found myself in a massively reductionist state of my understanding of the world around us when I had really spent, 20 years of my life studying medicine, which was the opposite, where every year and minute you study in that environment, they try to convince you it's more and more complicated, that there's 1,000 different diseases, that there's 10,000 different drugs to treat those diseases. But in reality, what started to deconstruct that world was the realization that the cancer I was studying under the microscope when I was devising.
What he's describing was, at first, he was a non-critical worker. He didn't ask questions. He assumed that everything that he had learned was the truth, and he didn't need to ask questions. But then certain things start popping up that started waking up that critical thinker. And this happens to everybody that is involved with what we do. There's certain things, certain triggers, certain things, certain words that you just didn't have before. Certain realities that you start seeing, and you be like, damn, what's going on? Am I going crazy, or is the rest of the world crazy? But the rest of the world can't be crazy because everybody else is doing this. All right, but go ahead.
chemotherapy happened to be really the exact same process as an ulcer in the ankle of a diabetic patient. Again, sound totally disparate, but in the end, totally reductionist viewpoint is it's only one thing, which is chronic inflammation. Inflammation is actually a normal biologic response to an injury. If we have a chronic inflammatory epidemic in the world, which is a better definition than lots of diseases, then we must be overwhelming the immune system of all of the public for some reason.
So what he's saying is, with all these sicknesses, there's something that we're doing in the environment that is causing our bodies to react. He goes back, if I go back a few seconds, but I won't because you go on and you can watch this yourself. He says inflammation is a natural response to injury. So somehow, unbeknownst to ourselves, we are causing injuries to ourselves. And what is the source of these injuries, sir?
At the same time, sometime between 1982 and 2000, we did something to the environment to totally decimate the protection system of our immune systems. And the big tip-off to me in this process, here I am in the labs developing chemotherapy and is so buried down the rabbit hole of the pharmaceutical model. But there was a big tip-off starting to happen in the late 1990s and early 2000s that we were seeing diseases in what seemed like completely different organ systems in the population go epidemic simultaneously. Examples of this was certainly autism that you mentioned earlier. We had 1 in 5,000 children with autism in 1975. Today we have, just 3 weeks ago, released the most recent data, 1 in 36 children with an autism spectrum disorder.
Now I want y'all to look at that chart. Go back, look at that chart, right? Go back. Well, let's go back. We need to go back. And we need to look at that chart. He said in 1975, there was 1 per 5,000. So in 5 years, it went from 1 in 10,000 to 1975 to 1 in 5,000. So what happened around that time? Something happened, right? Now we're at a point now where it's 1 in 36. All right, but go ahead. Let's go.
Of this was certainly autism that you mentioned earlier. We had 1 in 5,000 children with autism in 1975. Today we have, just 3 weeks ago, released the most recent data, 1 in 36 children with an autism spectrum disorder. And the big argument for a long time was, well, maybe we're just diagnosing and recognizing autism better, which is kind of laughable if you've ever sat with an autistic child. Here's a 5-year-old who can't speak, can't make eye contact, hits his head on the wall for a few hours a day to try to console his terror. We didn't miss that in 1975. This is not a diagnostic dilemma. But then to further emphasize that, the fastest acceleration in that growth pattern of this epidemic has happened between 2012 and today, where we're seeing a doubling time every 2 to 3 years. And
so it's doubling every 2 to 3 years. It's a law in technology. I can't think of the law. Anybody out there that's listening, if you know the law, it's a law with technological advancement, like for computers. I can't remember what the name of the law is, but every 2 years, we double our computing abilities, right? So this disease is following a similar piece. But hold on, let's go.
that autism rate, at the current rate, we'll see 1 in 3 children with autism in 2035. And then in 1996, we saw this sudden rise in the...
So they said by 2035, we'll see 1 in 3. Did I hear that right? Was that right? He said 1 in 3. Let's see what else is going on here.
Alzheimer's dementia in women. Interestingly, the Alzheimer's rates has not changed in males since that time. But at the same time, 1996, we see this uptick and consistent linear growth parallel to that Alzheimer's track in women with Parkinson's in males. And so we have, species-specific, gender-specific, organ-specific diseases in the brain and peripheral cancers, all of which took off at the same time in the mid-1990s.
Look at all those. Explosion. Look at the explosion. Look at the jumps. All about 1990. Explosion, family. Man, what's going on? What's happening? Why is this What is going on? Crohn's disease, asthma. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of these diseases they just blew up right here in 1990. If you look on the chart right about 1990, all the way up till 1990. In 1990, you start seeing a upward tick of all of them. If we was to take a line and we was to go straight up, we could see that all of these start increasing in the 1990s. Some of them off the chart. All right. Wow.
Autoimmune disease, unbelievable epidemic starting in the late 1990s. And so this was like the cracks that were starting to form in my worldview, that maybe there weren't 1,000 different diseases because they all started going epidemic at once, which really begged the question, is there a root cause of the root cause of the root cause of all disease? In the same way that we've misunderstood the gut and what gut health means, we misunderstood soil for the longest time. And in the early 1900s, really the late 1880s, we started to change the way we farmed. Simple things happened.
So now I want y'all to understand what happened. So he made what would be considered a super jump here. He's going from medicine to soil. And this starts to happen when you start having a more holistic vision about everything that's going on, when you start seeing an interconnection between things, right? You start using your mind and you start saying, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's connected. You start seeing connection. So he jumped from one thing to another. So bear with us, family.
Happened like we went to steel grinding for wheat instead of stone grinding it, which meant we could get more of the fiber out of it, which means we created a higher gluten and a higher refined carbohydrate load in our flours and in our wheat system and everything else. So that's one example of a shift. But the main thing that happened is we started to disrespect the importance of crop rotation and soil rest, cover cropping, etc. This led to a massive death of the topsoil, which led to the Dust Bowl that ran through the 1920s and 30s. And it's fascinating that here we are only 80 years out from this event where our ancestors, 2 generations, 3 generations, were literally starving to death. We had soup lines that went for days, across the entire Midwest, and houses were literally being buried in dust of dead soil that had died. During the Dust Bowl, we actually, for the first time, started to outsource our food production because these people lost their local gardens and farms. Mm-hmm. So we started to rely on importing food for the first time, and we started to outsource that concept. Then World War II hit, and we did something interesting, which is we had this huge petroleum industry that was revved up bigger than it had ever been in the history, because we had all tanks, jeeps, mechanized warfare for the first time in human history on this scale. We had planes for the first time. I mean, this was like full out, totally different thing that had ever happened in history, and it was a world war, much different than World War I in its scope. And so we see this huge petroleum industry that suddenly grinds to a halt because the war is over. So we have this glut of petroleum, and we suddenly realize we can extract nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium out of that.
Now, oil. So he made a jump from, he started talking about medicine, started talking about soil, then he went into the mechanisms behind World War II, and then the end of World War II, you had all this oil. Pay attention, family, because it's coming. He bringing it.
That oil, and we started making chemical-based fertilizers for the first time. So they found a new marketplace for this oil.
How many of y'all knew that fertilizer, chemical-based fertilizer, is what we use mainly here in the United States? How many of y'all knew that your food is being grown in petroleum dust? Is it just me? I mean, because this shit is new to me. Well, not really, because Nomo didn't tell me, I didn't hear him speak about the petroleum industry and his involvement in soil production. But he did let me know that the soil in America had lost all of its ability to actually provide nutrients for the plants. And we ate the plants, so we wouldn't get the nutrients nor the minerals, because the plant wasn't strong enough to extract the minerals from the soil. But go ahead. I digress.
Soil. Mm-hmm. And And it was a great message to the farmers who were still suffering with bad dirt in the Midwest, is like, you don't need to do crop rotation. You don't need to compost. You don't need to go back to thousands of years of farming tradition. Just spray this chemical on there.
Yeah, forget about whatever you might have learned during the Dust Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 40 years ago. That's all ancient times. We're modern now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so these farmers started using it, and it became a revolution for them. And it was actually called the Green Revolution of the 1960s. And so the Green Revolution was actually use of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, or NPK fertilizers. And the NPK fertilizer did turn plants green because nitrogen and phosphorus do that. But what was lacking in those plants for the first time in history was the nutrients and the medicine that should always have been in that food.
Did y'all hear that? I need to repeat that. Did y'all hear what he said? It allowed the plants to get green, but the plants were not able to extract the nutrients that gave us the nutrition and the medicine. Because remember, our ancient ancestors said, let your food be your medicine, right? So when I'm eating an apple, I'm supposed to be eating something that is healing me. Why? Because that apple is a result of a plant that has been able to pull nutrients from the soil and translate it and form it into an apple with seeds that I would be able to eat because it was attracted to me and helped spread the seeds of that plant. But now, a lot of these plants are not even able to extract the nutrition that I need. They're just able to get green, so they look pretty. Sort of like some of the people, some of our people. You know, they look pretty, but they're not really. When you really get down to it, there's no sustenance there. Anyway, go ahead.
And so the plants became weak. Just like a human being who lacks nutrients, their immune system goes down. And when a plant's immune system goes down, it becomes prone to viruses, pests, and it can't excrete the stuff from the root system that would keep weeds at bay. And so now the plants are getting, attacked from the outside, if you will, and the chemical industry says, no problem, here's a new chemical weed killer, here's a pesticide. And
so the chemical fertilizers weaken the plants. They no longer pull up the nutrition that they need, nor could they produce the things to protect themselves that made it possible for them to grow in a natural environment. So the chemical companies came with something new. Let's check it out.
And so the farmers got themselves locked into this codependent relationship with chemical fertilizers, then chemical drugs for the plants to keep them.
I just want y'all to see that. Destroy the environment, environment destruction, soil death. Then you get okay, here's some chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers produce weak plants. Weak plants get attacked by pests. Now you need chemical drugs to keep the pests and the weeds away, which leads to more environmental destruction, which is a loop. It loops back onto itself. So we have the petroleum, we have the chemical industry basically creating a master hustle where they create problems and then come up with for the solutions for the problems and getting that money. Hell with your health. All right, go ahead.
Alive despite a failing biology underneath the surface there.
Right. Akin to taking a drug to deal with the symptoms of some ailment that you have that creates a whole battery of side effects that then require you to take another drug to deal with those. It's just an environmental version of that.
It's exactly the same thing. And in fact, the drugs have been the same in a lot of ways. The main drug is antibiotics. Western medicine really got its first foothold with penicillin, our first antibiotic. And that happened to be in the 1940s with World War II. And so we developed in the same decade the antibiotics that would kill the bacteria in our body with the antibiotics that would kill the soil. Mm-hmm. And I say antibiotic because these chemicals that we were using as pesticides are largely antibiotic rather than what you would think of maybe a weed killer or something.
So he's stating that many of the pesticides that are being used are more of an antibiotic than something that we would consider as a true poison. So it's an antibiotic. Now listen to this. Here we go. We're gonna bring it home. We almost We almost there.
And the most famous of these, of course, has become Roundup, the most single successful chemical warfare that's ever been sold on the planet. We currently sell and use 4.5 billion pounds of glyphosate, which is the active ingredient in the chemical, to treat the soil.
Now, this was the chemical that we talked about just a few minutes ago. So let's keep it going.
Of the earth, 4.5 billion pounds of a single chemical annually. That chemical was never patented as a weed killer. It's only been patented as an antibiotic, and then it was repatented as an antiparasite, antifungal.
Yeah, that was the original purpose of it, correct?
Well, it's the mechanism. It's the mechanism they recognized. And so the mechanism of glyphosate is to go in and block enzymes in soil bacteria, fungi, and plants. And that enzyme pathway is called the shikimate pathway, and it's important because it makes a number of the essential amino acids. Our bodies are composed of over 200,000 proteins, but we only have 20,000 genes. We have this pathetically dumb genome in the sense that a flea has 30,000 genes. So you're two-thirds as complicated as a flea at the gene level, which I find reassuring. If I can't find my keys or I'm having a bad day, I'm like, hey, I'm two-thirds as complicated as a flea. What are my real expectations here? But the reality is we're very simple at the genetic level, and yet we make over 200,000 proteins from a bunch of amino acids. There's 26 amino acids that will build those 200,000 proteins. Those 26 amino acids are just like the 26 letters of the English alphabet in the sense that the vast majority of those are useful but not critical. But the vowels, these 8 vowels in our language, if you subtract one of those vowels, you can affect hundreds of thousands of words. The vowels in the amino acid vocabulary here are the essential amino acids, which if you start to tweak any of those 9, you're going to start to lose tens of thousands of protein structures in their functionality and in their unique form.
Hold on. So how did this connect? Because because you're going to bring it together, but I just want you to notice that. So he went to talking about the proteins and the importance of the proteins and how certain amino acids, essential amino acids, are being affected by these chemicals, by especially that glyphosate, right? So now he's saying if you take out the essential amino acids, it's thousands of functions that your body will not be able to carry through or to be able to do effective. In other words, you become weak like the plants. So you can't fight off the diseases. You can't fight off the parasites like you used to. So just like the plants, humanity and those in our community are being weakened because of all the chemical intake that we have, especially when we start talking about the antibacterial, because I mean the not the antibacterial, I can't think of the word. What did they the word that they used with that the herb killers are really? They are antibiotics. These antibiotics are attacking certain things. So go ahead, Hatim. I mean, let's keep it going. You keep talking. Stop it.
And so those essential amino acids, not only are they important like the vowels, they also can't be made by the human body. So those 9 have to come from your food chain somewhere.
So the 9 essential amino acids are not made by the body. They have to be taken in through your food. And if your food don't have these, then guess what? You become weak like the plants. So you can't fight off the pest, the diseases, or it's crazy, right? We got a super loop, a loop of problems here. Let's keep it moving.
And it turns out that they are only made by the bacteria, the fungi, and the plants. You don't have a shikimate pathway in your human cells. And so these essential amino acids are blocked through the shikimate pathway by Roundup. And so imagine treating...
So the essential amino acids, so glyphosate attacks the plant's ability to produce these amino acids, and that's what kills the plants. Now, so this stuff is being used, and the way of whatever. Let them finish. I'm just because it started coming together when I heard this, and I'm sitting up here. This makes sense. Hold on. So essential amino acids are blocked by the the shikimate pathway through Roundup. So we can't get what we need, which are 9 essential amino acids, because of the chemical within Roundup. within these herbicides.
A food chain with a chemical that blocks the ability of these plants to make the building blocks for a healthy human body. Forget about a human, it's a dog, a cat, any mammal, any complex multicellular biology is going to depend on these essential amino acids. And we literally, in the last 15 years, subtracted out the ability to build the body because we changed the 26 letters. And so the current statistics is that less than 0.1% of the Roundup used on the planet actually hits a weed. The other 99.99% gets into the soil and into the water system and washes.
Did y'all hear that? 99% of the Roundup we use is washed off into the water and to the rivers. And, oh my God, go ahead.
Off. And so we are now seeing the runoff from these farms and in the water table itself. So we have fossil aquifers in the United States here that run from Canada all the way down to, historically, Mexico, that is now dried up. We've turned over 1,000 square miles of Texas into desert over just the last 20 years from sucking water out of the ground. That fossil aquifer is now contaminated with Roundup that's filtered down into this ancient freshwater source for us. And then in the same moment, you've got the Mississippi River, which collects over 80% of all of the Roundup in the country. And then it's evaporating the whole time, so it's going into the air that you breathe, and then it goes into the clouds, and then it rains down on us. Recent studies in the air and rainfall in the southern United States is showing 75% of the rain, 75% of the air contaminated with Roundup. So before you even take a bite of food, you're being hit with an antibiotic when you breathe. You're getting hit with an antibiotic when you...
So you got these antibiotics constantly hitting. What does that mean? Is somebody on the line? You got the constant antibiotic hitting you. Let's keep it moving.
When you experience rainfall. And so you may be growing organic crops, but they're getting rained on. And so we have now locked this water-soluble toxin into our environment. Fortunately, to give you a little bit of breather here from the bad news, is that there are bacteria and fungi that can eventually digest the glyphosate. The downside is we need to stop spraying it so that they can return. We're decimating those very bacteria and fungi by the presence of Roundup to the point where they're not digesting it. Current estimates is if we stop spraying Roundup tomorrow, it would take about 50 years before our ecosystem saw a drop in the level of Roundup below our toxic level. If the conspiracy theorist was right, then we'd see 1 in 2 people with cancer, we'd see 1 in 30 kids with autism, we'd see Parkinson's going crazy. They're literally repeating back, if it was toxic, we would see literally what we're seeing, And so the reality is the public health statistics have gotten so grim in the last 8 years that nobody can call this a conspiracy theory anymore.
Right, but it's almost like, but where's the smoking gun?
The smoking gun is what's been missing. That's what we found in 2012. So in 2012, we found it backwards. I don't think anybody's actually smart enough with the human gray matter that we're given to actually create a paradigm shift prospectively, right? So every great, mind that we look to in past, Galileo or, Ben Franklin or anybody, we said, they discovered something, or, Edison. These just came at moments when the evidence got so overwhelming that it became obvious, right? And so in the same way, in 2012, the evidence was getting so overwhelming that we were onto something in the nutrition world. But at the time, I was still thinking cancer therapy, because my background was in chemotherapy development. And so when I found these molecules in soil that looked similar to the chemotherapy I'd been making, a lot of bells started ringing.
He found chemicals in the soil that was very similar to what people experience when they go through. Well, basically, he found stuff in the soil that they use in chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is used to kill cancer. All right, let's keep it moving. I don't want to hold y'all up. I said it.
Like, what is that? Where did it come from? How is there medicine in the dirt? Like, where is that coming from? And within a few weeks of that discovery of those molecules, we found out that bacteria and fungi were making these specific shapes of these carbon molecules. And that really closed the loop for me, because there had been some papers coming out in the mid-2000s in the cancer world that were starting to say that the bacteria in your gut were predicting which cancers you would get.
So they could predict what cancer you were susceptible to by what was in your microbiome. Family, I don't know if y'all following this from the beginning to the end, because it's like it's going in many different directions, but what it is showing us is that we live, when we say we lift up our glass and we toast all of our relations, we're linked to the entire thing, right? Because a lot of people, we carry ourselves and we act, right? We act like we're separate. We're part of this. The circle of life. Just saying, but go ahead, man. Go. I'm sorry.
If you're missing these bacteria, you would get prostate cancer. If you had these bacteria, you would get breast cancer. That was so radically bizarre and out there for our current model, even to this day, as to how cancer worked. But now you fast forward 8-10 years, and now there's tens of thousands of articles that are showing that genomically, the bacterial genome is way more important in determining cancer than the human genome. And so this reality was hitting. And so in 2012, when we discovered these chemicals that look a little like chemotherapy that are made by bacteria and fungi in the soil, it suddenly closed the loop of, oh my gosh, what if the bacteria in our gut is doing the same thing? What if the bacteria and the fungi are actually our best source of medicine for everything? And so that's the direction we were going. But as soon as we put this into Petri dish.
So they started wondering if a healthy microbiome might be the source of great health. But hold on, let's see. He said he put them in a Petri dish and something happened.
Dishes with cancer cells and beyond, we suddenly realized, no, there's something way deeper happening with this information stream coming out of bacteria and fungi. And it was my chief science officer, Dr. John Gilday. He's a PhD in genetics and cell biology, and he was the first to realize that we had put our finger on the glyphosate toxicity issue, is that this communication network from the bacteria and fungi was actually supporting the protein structure in our gut lining. And so it turns out that the gut is held together as these trillions of cells that make up that cellophane layer by tight junctions. These are Velcro-like proteins that hold one microscopic cell to the next to create this coherent carpet. And he had recognized before this, and a number of other labs had started to publish, that glyphosate seemed to increase the permeability of this membrane. And nobody was...
So, family, I want you to imagine you got your zipper that holds your pants together, and something gets on the zipper and start dissolving the little links, and you try to go up and the piece that you zipping with falls off. So now you can't close your pants, right? So in the microbiome, right, you have these proteins that hold all this stuff together like that, and something is dissolving their grip and causing them to open up. Now, a lot of y'all are like, why is that important? Hold on.
I was really sure why yet. But we suddenly realized that if this bacterial communication network was in there, we couldn't injure the membrane. It became bulletproof to the glyphosate injury. And so in that journey, we started to really study glyphosate and its relationship to the human cells, because like you said, Monsanto's been swearing up and down that there is no harm to the human body because the shikimate pathway only exists in bacteria and fungi. Well, that may be true regarding that enzyme target, but the classic thing with any drug is it always has off-target effects, right? So that's why drugs have side effects, is they don't actually go and do exactly what your doctor says it's going to go do. It's going to hit a bunch of the receptors and do other things. The side effects of glyphosate that are outside of the shikimate pathway is direct injury to the protein structure that holds your gut lining together. This would be bad news if that was it, but it turns out that every macromembrane in your body, the blood vessels that fuel your entire body with oxygen and nutrients, are held together with the same tight junctions. The blood-brain barrier that protects your peripheral nervous system and your brain, same tight junctions. The kidney tubules that are held together to detox your body, same tight junctions. And so what's happened as we've introduced a chemical that's directly toxic to this Velcro-like protein is we turn into leaky sieves on the front end, gut leak and nasal sinus leak. And so every time we breathe, every time we eat, we're starting to leak and our immune system gets overwhelmed. Then the blood vessels that are supposed to deliver either an immune response from peripheral or get nutrients to some distant space is also leaking. And so we're getting permeability of the blood vessels. Then you get to the blood-brain barrier. This is supposed to be the holy of holies. A peripheral nerve or the brain is supposed to be protected against everything in your blood, because even glucose, which is the main fuel for your brain, should not get into the brain in an unregulated fashion. It will damage the nerves. And so the holy of holies of the central and peripheral nervous system is being destroyed. And so if that's true, if glyphosate was really damaging that, then we should see a massive explosion in neurologic injury to children and adults starting in about 1996. And that's exactly when we see this steep increase happening in autism, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, neurodegenerative conditions like MS, autoimmune diseases, and all the rest. I mean, all of this has sounded like a lot of bad news, but identifying a problem is so much of the solution, you know. And so now that we identify the problem, look, we've put into our food chain a chemical that deletes the ability to build a healthy human body. We've put into the food chain a chemical that deletes the medicine out of our food, which we didn't have time to talk about, but that same shikimate pathway makes the alkaloids, which are the medicinal features of our food, is deleted by glyphosate. So we build a diseased body, we build a food chain that doesn't have the medicine in it, and then we take away the most vital thing, which is this microcosm, macrocosm phenomenon you just talked about. So far I've been describing to you that we are losing the identity between the outside world and our immune system by the breakdown of these membranes. We get leak. That's literally taking away self-identity from the immune system, and so we get autoimmune disease where we're starting to react to our own body as if it was foreign. In the same way, at the macro level.
And that is why I started making that ambrosia, because I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have these words, but it's something happening. So I'm like, is it the sugar? Is it, I mean, it's all this stuff combined, all the stuff we're breathing. But I said, because, I started looking at fermented foods. I'm like, cool, maybe more fermented foods, which made it easier for your body to absorb nutrients. But now you're starting to find out that even when you ferment some of this food, it doesn't have what your body needs. So we have to find different ways to supplement our body's needs, different ways to introduce foods in different groups of whole foods to our body that help provide the needs, especially the needs of our microbiome, right? We got to find ways to build up the amino acids in our body in a healthy way so that we can help support those links that stop some of this leakage. Because I don't run into leaky gut syndrome. All this stuff is autoimmune diseases because your body is not able to distinguish itself from an outside terrorist. You're losing your biological identity, just like many of us are losing our cultural identity. So what is happening to us as people on this planet is also happening to us in our biology. You top all this off and you get crazy. We need to learn to deal with our crazy. This is crazy, but we almost done. We almost home.
I believe we're losing our self-identity as human beings as we start to leak. And we start to become majorly depressed, panic disorder. We start to get lost down these rabbit holes of doubt, insecurity, fear, guilt. We have spiritual crisis. We have relationship crisis that's on an epidemic level equal.
All this is from us not being able to establish a connection with Mother Earth because there is something interfering with the signal. We are getting mankind food. We are not getting Earth food. We are not being able to really sustain ourselves from our mother because our mother is being destroyed and being poisoned. Our food is being poisoned. We have, and then on top of that, you take this food that does not have the full nutrients that you need, and then you process them. Oh my God. Think about that. Then you process it. Brother Hatim, what can we do about it? Hold on. I want him to finish.
To cancer and beyond. The ability to stay in human relationships seems to be the most complicated thing that we could possibly endure right now. It's because we are literally losing self-identity at the cell level because we are eating a chemical that breaks our self-identity at the cell level. As sickness happens and it results in an immune reaction and a healing process. I think that's what's happening to our society right now. We have a sickness and a disease on the planet of loss of self-identity and human consciousness of our purpose here, only to trigger the ultimate healing process, which is to realize that we're all one. We are all on one mission to find truth in ourselves and through one another. We are calling in community. We are going to overcome the isolation of our cell phone era. We're going to start to touch each other more. We're going to hug each other more because we have to. And that's a beautiful healing process that I already see afoot in the world around me. And I'm blessed to be able to go and speak all over the world right now. And I'm blessed in that journey to see humans changing their macro consciousness as they change their diet, as they change their nutrition, as they get in touch with their food chain, as they put bacterial and fungal communication networks back into their body. They come back 18 months later to my clinic and they'll say, "Doc, I just left my husband. He's been abusing me for 35 years and I finally realized I don't deserve that." And I left. And so a woman can in an instant suddenly realize, as her boundaries go up at the gut and at the blood-brain barrier, her macro boundaries of that's not spiritually and psychologically appropriate. I am me, I am important, I am loved, I don't need that kind of abuse in my life. In the same way, I'll have somebody walk in and say, "Doc, I just quit my job. I just started my company that I've been wanting to start for 30 years and wasn't confident enough to start, and I just realized I am ready, and I just did it." And so I have this goosebump experience over and over again, despite some of the tragedy that's in the talks that I give and the science that I now know. And I'm constantly seeing this bubbling up of human hope and human healing and consciousness coming on. And I take great hope in that. I take great excitement that if a few of us can become conscious and aware and awake right now, it has a ripple effect that is so quick, and it has to be quick, because one thing we can be certain with, no matter what background we come from scientifically or politically, we can agree that any society faced with 1 in 3 children with autism will collapse under a financial blow that is inescapable. And so we're about 16 years away from a sure, complete collapse of our financial status as a country, and yet we don't hear a single politician talking about it. Because why? Because the politicians are not the solution. You and I are the solution as consumers, and we are doing it already. The organic food movement, nobody predicted how successful it was going to be. 10 years ago, it was less than 1% of the food sold in the country, and now we're pushing it. We're up to maybe 4 or 5% in a lot of communities. If we can push that to 16%, these are numbers that were apparently leaked from Monsanto. In their marketing analysis, if the American food chain became 16% organic, Monsanto and chemical farming would lose its financial stability. Thank you for watching this episode.
All right. So that's Dr. Zach Bush. Let's give him a round of applause. That was dope. Now let's get back to our screen. All right, cool. So that's gonna be the show for today, family. Listen, man. But I just want y'all to think about it. Now, what are some solutions out there? You said you was gonna come with some solutions. All right, cool. So now. So in my research and talking with people in the way that I do, and people knowing that I've been pushing this ambrosia, you know what I'm saying, for a while, people hooking me up with other people. I ran into a group that's a group called Purium, and they have this thing called a biomedic. The biomedic is something that helps you not only take care of your microbiome, but it helps push that chemical, glyphosate, up out of your system, right? I'm sitting up here, all right, cool. I'm giving it a try first, you know what I'm saying? But I'm letting y'all know, because, we've been drinking, some of us been drinking our ambrosia, which been helping strengthen the microbiome. So we need to get ambrosia or get whatever else we're using some help. How do we clean this stuff up out of our system? And something else that I'm using right now, this is why I'm doing the Super Aminos 23. To help put those essential, getting those essential amino acids and trying to get them back into my body. I've also been using, Bragg's aminos, for years. Damn, maybe that's why I'm still healthy, I'm still alive, right? Because I've been having amino acids active in my body for a long time, but I'm actually added this to my regimen as well. This also comes from amino. So at the same time that I've been taking care of my microbiome, right, with our ambrosia, we got that ambrosia. Right now we got something to also add to the ambrosia to help build up the healthy microbes and microorganisms in our microbiome. We also now have something that can help our body naturally push out this glyphosate. Right, so we're gonna continue doing research on it, and I'm gonna continue sharing stuff with y'all. But family, I want to thank y'all for your time. It's been beautiful. Nobody called in. I mean, what's going on? The line off or something? Well, I'm gonna hang up the phone now. Cause somebody liable to call in when I'm about to do my I'm out scene. So, family, I want to remind you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing your job. Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production. And of course, this has been the Toast&Talk Imani. And it's a Heart of a Simple production. When we strive, and which we definitely possibly did today, to blow up your old paradigms. Learn more about what we do here at Giami Journey at gnj.media, gnj.media. Please check out our free e-course. It's free, gnjecourse.com. I'll post it up for you once again, free, gnjecourse.com. This is one of the ways that we try to maintain what we do as well as spreading the culture. I don't know why I did that, but there you go right here. Boom. All right, free, gnjecourse.com. This is Brother High Tim, and I am out. You wasn't doing that the whole time.